Hi there and welcome back to the channel. I just came across a little news blurb this morning that might be of interest to you if you're looking to sell your house and you've been in it a while. There's always been this provision in the law. It was really an exemption for homeowners when they go to sell the house. Obviously, especially if you've been in it for a while, obviously that it's going to sell for more than what you paid for it, unless we have a cataclysmic market like we had in 2008, where values plummeted and people lost all kinds of equity. But that's a different point in time, and we're not going to go back to that. But for people who have owned their house, they bought it many years ago, and the value has grown over time. When you go to sell your primary residence, the government has given homeowners an exemption on a certain level of capital gains, in other words, increase in value that you do not have to pay taxes on. Now, right now, the levels currently for a married couple filing jointly, it's $500,000. For individuals, is $250,000. So let's take an example. Let's say you paid $100,000 for the house 20 years ago, and you're now selling the house for $600,000, and you're an individual. The difference between what you paid and what you sold it for, again, that's $500,000. If you're single, half of that, or $250,000 of it, you don't have to pay capital gains on. The other $250,000 you do. If you were a married couple, same situation. You bought it for $100,000, you sold it for $600,000. The difference being $500,000, that's the increase in value that you paid for it. That $500,000 for both of you in total would be exempted. If you sold it for even more, then you would have to pay capital gains on that. Now, the thing is, these limits have been in place since 1997. So we're coming up on almost 30 years where these caps have not been adjusted. And there is a movement in Congress right now to consider either raising those numbers or getting rid of the capital gains tax on sale of a primary home entirely. Where this ends up, we don't know yet. It's getting a lot of attention in Congress, though. The National Association of Realtors is pushing this. One of the arguments being that the people who are in these situations, who've been in their homes for 20, 30, maybe even 40 years, they're hesitant to sell because they're worried about having to pay the taxes. And the longer they've had the house, the less they paid for it, the more the value has grown. The concern is the capital gains tax that they would have to pay could be exorbitant. And that the feeling is that that's keeping some people from selling, especially people who are at retirement age, who need to downsize, that they're worried about losing some of that value and not being able to transfer it. So that is what's being looked at in Congress right now. It's also getting attention, we believe, at the from the White House, the executive level. So it remains to be seen where this ends up, but it's being pushed right now and it's getting a lot of bipartisan support. So let's keep an eye on that and see where that goes. Like I said, let's keep an eye on that, see where that goes, and maybe we'll get some tax relief for long-term homeowners in the very near future. If you found this interesting, hit that like and subscribe button, leave a comment down below, and we'll see you at the next video.